Now, Twitter is something we all use, but over the past few years, has it turned cyberspace into a wild west of fake news that's unrestrained, destructive, there's commentary that's violent? Has it become a platform for foreign adversaries to spread propaganda, threatening democratic countries, changing the outcome of elections? Well, we put that question across to Twitter's global VP of Public Policy.
There was this journalist, Colin Crowell in Karnataka, who was murdered, and there was a conversation that began around that. It was all over Twitter and other social media platforms. It basically emphasized that one emotive feeling that those who are abusing not just Colin Crowell and other people who are associated and close to her, what does Twitter do about them? Because there's just this feeling that while we understand Twitter cannot curb the conversation that's taking place, but if somebody is being abusive and if somebody is trolling somebody and literally calling them out, even if they're dead, what is it that Twitter does about that?
Well, obviously a terrible tragedy here in India when that occurred, but Twitter's rules around this are quite clear with respect to safety, and our tolerance for that kind of activity is zero. Mm-hmm. Last year, in January of 2017, our CEO designated safety as the #1 corporate priority. Oh, wow. And so during the entirety of 2017, almost every Twitter employee at some point during the course of the year was doing something involved in safety and addressing safety issues on the platform.
Yeah, sorry, I have a habit of interrupting only because I want to get to the point.
My family dinner table is the same.
Mine doesn't even listen. But I'm trying to understand, what is that something? You say they're trying to do something.
So there have been a variety of changes. So in the last 14 months, we've instituted some 25 changes in policy and product changes that perhaps many Indians are not aware of. So for example, it used to be the case that in order to file a complaint, it would have to come from the victim. So if you were being abused, you could file that complaint. We've now changed our rules and changed the policy so that a bystander, somebody else witnessing the abuse, can also report it.
So when I report it, what happens?
It goes to Twitter, and we have 24/7 teams around the world who can receive those reports and review those reports, and then we take appropriate action.
What is appropriate action?
Well, there'll be a variety of enforcement actions depending on the nature of the infraction. What we've seen over the course of the last 14 months as a result of these changes is that we're now taking action on 10 times more accounts than we were a year ago. If the perception is that Twitter is the wild, wild west and there's no sheriff, then people will comport themselves in a certain way. Okay. Once you see that action is being taken and people see the repercussions for some of the activity on the platform and they know that there are consequences to it, then 65% of the people that have found themselves in this circumstance don't repeat. To the extent to which there's a recidivism rate that's high, then we take gradations of action where it escalates that could lead to permanent suspension. Okay.